Good, whatever to you, whenever you are watching this episode of Chatting with Beloved Chatters. And today, my guest is KB. Thank you for joining me, Kay. How is your morning going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me, Dylan.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me. I believe you're on your lunch hour, correct?
Oh no, I actually start work in about an hour, so not
Okay,
I
and
haven't quite started yet.
you have one of the few people that have an easier commute than I do. I have about a mile and a half to my job, and my roommate actually just started working from home as well. So you actually beat my mile and a half commute by a mile and a half.
Yeah, I just walk up a couple steps into my office and I'm at work.
And it's been a while since I was doing this hobby of streaming for a bit and had a just miserable job. It took me 10 months to yell. Well, not yell. It was a very strongly worded resignation letter of the incompetent bosses. But I could have this job forever that I'm currently at. But the corporate and the upper management, I'm now doing a count. I have made it 1 month without yelling at the incompetent people above me.
I'm proud of you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Working in
So,
corporate fucking sucks. I hate it. You have to toe their bullshit lines and I just you do what you got to do to get a paycheck.
yeah,
Whatever.
I almost went into the corporate world myself. I was qualified to get in there at one of my jobs, but in the interviewing process, I was only able to stick my head halfway up my ass, and you need to have your head all the way up your ass in order for you to be in corporate. Oh yeah, they came in within the month I've been there, made some random floor plan changes and made everything more difficult than it was a week ago. So yeah, my actual job very easy. But dealing with the people who know better oh boy, this is going to be fun. We'll see if I can beat my record of 10 months of not yelling at corporate. 3 weeks when I moved to somewhere is all I could last. It was a very small type place, so there wasn't really a corporate, just the owner and manager, and they just been doing the same way, the things the same way for so long. This is just how we do them. This is terrible, and this is actually against health code to do it this way. Can we
Mm.
not? And yeah, 3 weeks it took me to yell at them once I figured out what they're doing and everything they're doing wrong.
Well, I'm rooting for you.
Thanks. So, working from home, do you have anyone that you virtually have to check in with, or are you kind of just looking over yourself? And as long as you hit your goals, they'll let you do what you need to do.
Yeah, they pretty much just let me do my thing. I mean, we have a daily huddle, we call it, where we just go on and bullshit. It's worthless. And like, I've brought it up many times. Why are we doing this? And they're like, well, engagement. Well, I don't give a shit about engagement. Just let me work and leave me alone, you know?
Absolutely. There's one person at the job I'm currently who likes to meddle in other departments' stuff, and it's like, you're stopping both me and yourself from doing our job by sticking your nose into this. But I understand kind of like the social aspect they're trying to go for. Like you're in your house. Come on, let's all get together and be social. Let's do it, team. So I kind of
Yeah,
get the point of it, but yeah,
me too. I mean, I get it. But
at the same
some
time,
people just
we're
aren't
wasting time.
social like me. I'm not a very social person.
I did need to push myself to be social. I'm naturally very introverted.
Me
Performing for the
too.
longest time was very odd to me. Uh, odd, just yeah, foreign. To me, it was like getting to know you through the live chat boards. That helps me both as like a writing exercise and like a beta of being social in real life.
Yeah, yeah, whatever helps. Dylan, I'm kind of bummed you didn't wear your little bow tie today.
I do have it here within arm's length. Uh, and of course it is a clip-on, so I'd have I can tie myself a half Windsor. I do have to consult YouTube to make sure I'm doing the half Windsor right, but yeah, the actual bow tie I have no idea how to do. I could quickly throw it on. That was a big hit yesterday. The bow tie.
And it looks like your neck grew back, so that's good. You got
Oh,
that going for you.
disappear. I put on a tie. The neck disappears. Maybe I can snap it on and get your request to have since it doesn't have a collar. I think that's another reason why I went with the t-shirt under, because I'm looking fancy for my guest, fancy-ish. Don't have a collar. Maybe I'll be able to get this. It's more awkward right now as I'm trying to do it in the moment than when I had the time. Like when the pressure is on. Can you do it?
Well, now I feel bad. I just wore my old Kanye t-shirt with holes in it.
And that is how he sold his top of the line shirts. He had his white T-shirt for $700.
Yep.
I'm for any company that's selling a plain white T-shirt for $700. I'm laughing and have absolutely cheering that you've gone under, because f you, Kanye, for a $700 white T-shirt.
Hey, capitalism. People are buying them, you know?
I did see there was a T-shirt at a shop I went into that had cigarette burns in them, and they were like in the exact pattern. So it was a mass-produced cigarette burn shirt.
Did you buy it and remind you of your childhood?
No, no. I would to
That
remind
was
me
a
of my
joke, Dylan.
childhood. It would have to be actually on the skin, and that
Oh,
too is a
God.
joke. Oh, you did freeze up on me. You did
Oh,
mention
no.
that you had a problem freezing up recently on BYB. Your camera doesn't like to cooperate with you for a very long amount of time, it appears.
Am I still frozen?
Yep, you're just sitting there in a still screen, and it was when you blinked too. So we've got you. Looks like you're starting to doze off. You've had enough of this
Oh,
talking
no.
to interview stuff.
All right. I'll come back out and come back in. Sorry about that.
The old go out and come back in strategy works on a lot of fronts, and I can
All
check
right. I'll
in
be right
with
back.
the I'll check in with the chat as you do the go out and come back in type of style. She did mention on BYB they did not tell her that her camera was frozen, so I was like, I will let you know if it is frozen, and sure enough, frozen during a closed eyes. Thank you for joining, Sir Vosif. You've been started to become a regular beloved chatter yourself, Sir Vosif. I have got to remember to announce your name when I bring up some of your chats, and looks like we have a fan of John's neglected cat warning us that Chad may be doing something inappropriate while watching this. But yeah,
Oh,
now you're
God.
back, and your camera is back to working again. We'll see if it. I believe that was just under 10 minutes that it was working with you
Oh,
last time. So
sorry.
the timer is on.
I suck. I'm sorry.
See, I told you my neck would disappear once I put the tie on. My
Moment of
neck is
silence for Dylan's neck.
yeah. I can wear a tie or I can have a neck. I cannot have both. But actually, the bow
Mm.
tie with the T-shirt doesn't look too bad.
No, it really doesn't. Pulls it all together, you know?
It's like the rug in The Big Lebowski. It really tied the room together.
Nice marmot, man.
Clearly, you are not a bowler. I do love the censorship of like the TV censorship that they place in movies with mass amounts of vulgarity. Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass? Was changed to, do you see what happens, Larry, when you find a stranger in the Alps?
So stupid.
That will stick with me forever. I remember that on Scarface too. In high school, I think everyone in high school goes through a huge Scarface phase. At least boys do.
Yes,
And
I did. I watched that movie a million times. I loved it.
and I used to put it on the same level as like Goodfellas. Like, this is one of the greatest movies ever. It's a
Mhm.
fun, dumb action movie. Greatest movies ever, along with Goodfellas. Nah. Nah.
It's not a good movie. The acting is okay, and the plot is meh, but it's just about cocaine and gangster shit, so people love it.
It's
Rappers love
fun
it.
throughout. It having a movie that's just fun, it doesn't necessarily need to be good. Saving Silverman is a movie that's not good at all. I have never sought out to watch it once, but when Comedy Central was playing it at regular interviews, intervals, I was flipping through. Oh, Saving Silverman. This is dumb, but entertaining enough, and it is really fucking dumb. Never sought it out once, but I've seen that movie a bunch of times because, oh, there's Saving Silverman. Really dumb, but good enough.
I don't remember. Is that the one with Jason Biggs?
Yeah, Jason Biggs, Jack Black, trying to break up their buddy from his terrible fiance. Arlie Ermy is in there, and the twist at the end is Arlie Ermy. Everyone gets married and finds their love. Amanda Pete
Mm.
is the Jason Biggs's fiance, who's really controlling him, and everyone gets married at the end, including Jack Black and Arlie Ermy, who both come out of the closet to each other. So big dumb
Oh.
ending of everyone getting married, and yeah, absolutely stupid movie. Scarface, kind of like the early phases of Al Pacino becoming a parody of himself.
Mhm.
I love the Heat, fantastic movie, but his quote "great ass" was
That's
the
iconic.
parody. Yeah, the parody of himself coming out, and we've got, Hank Azaria sitting there being the guy, "Well, why? 'Cause she had a great ass." Love me
Decent
some Hank
impression.
Azaria. I can't really do the full-on impression. Maybe if I got some audio foam all around here, to muffle me, I could do the yelling impressions, but I can't. I've gotta do, like, the fake yelling, to be considerate of, the neighbors over there and my roommate doing actual work over there.
Mm.
Still an amateur operation I have. The closest thing to audio foam and muffling I have are some 8x10s, and they don't really cover the sound up that much.
Mm. Well, whatever works.
So how was your appearance on, BYB? Were you there the, whole time? I know he does some long episodes, Quadfather over there.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I've been on there before they got really big, quote unquote. Um, but I took an edible. I was like, I'm gonna take this edible just to kind of chill out, except I took too fucking much. And I'm just sitting there like I couldn't even form thoughts in my head. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I can't, I'm adding nothing to this fucking show right now. So see ya. And
You
he's like,
overdo
"Oh,
it on
you
the
can stick
edibles.
around." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
We need some eye candy. We're a bunch of dudes, and we are in a, internet community with not a lot of good-looking dudes. So, I feel like I'm more on the top tier just by the community I'm in. Thank you for all being ugly. So I'm one of the, less ugly folks, community of Hackverse, Dabbleverse.
Yeah, yeah.
Overdoing it
What
on
are you
the
gonna do?
edibles,
Hmm?
yeah, you were, like, almost tripping. I've told someone who is afraid of trying shrooms for the first time, overdo it on edibles. That's like, training
Mhm,
wheels for
mhm.
LSD and shrooms. So, yeah, you had the big pupils there, just kinda staring off. Uh,
Derek would be like, "What did you think about this?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention at all." That was fucking terrible. Poor guy. He's probably like, "Never have her on again, please."
and I kinda messed up my appearance on BYB as well. I, took a hit from my vape pen, shortly before we went on, and it kinda messed with my voice, and I had a few like, he had it me solo, and was just blah, 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 blah. So the weed messed up both of our BYB appearances to some extent.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens.
I recall you, first showing up in, chat rooms I was in a few months ago. Immediately, I went to the KB Toys joke, and, is that I imagine that's what you're going for, right? KB Toys?
No, it's actually my initials, and I just spelled them out like a loser, and it was just a Twitter handle I made, like, over 10 years ago, and I just kept it.
Oh, uh,
People are like, "Oh, you're trying to be like Kevin Brennan." I was like, "No, I made that before I even knew who Kevin Brennan was." We just have the same initials, I guess.
yeah, that's funny. People took it KB to Kevin Brennan. To me, I immediately went to where I bought my toys in the '90s, and I did spell it in your style for this title. I don't know how to do emojis on my laptop because I'm a boomer, so I created the StreamYard room here on my laptop, and then went to my phone to properly spell it correctly. K and the B emoji.
Oh, you can just go with K, it's fine. The B is optional.
I went with your proper chatter name, as we all know you on who are these socials. Where else are you chatting? I'm pretty sure I see you regularly. Thanks for joining my room regularly. Little intimate chat room we have here. I see you on who are these socials. Where else are you regularly chatting?
Uh, NLO mostly, sometimes. I've been trying to, like, get off the internet, you know? But I'm there, MLC sometimes. I just started getting into WATP, and not because I never liked them, it was just I didn't have time. There's just so many podcasts to consume. But they're all right. I like them too. Gosh, where else? Some of the smaller ones like you and, BYB and things like that,
Yeah,
depending on what I'm doing.
I've had to scale back. Now that I am a working man again, rather than a bum, the Jim Cornette podcast was the first one to go. He doesn't have a live stream, but he puts out 2 episodes a week at 3 hours apiece. So I'll check out some of his YouTube clips. The Creep Off was one I was in regularly, and anything during midday that isn't Wednesday or Thursday, I'm out. Well, I do have a convenient schedule. I was talking for weeks, like I'm going to change up my schedule. And damn Melton over at NLO, I actually moved my show back a half an hour because we do have some crossover viewers, listeners
Mhm,
like yourself. And
mhm.
he's the bigger broadcast. He's more established, so people will default to Melton with a lot of our crossover viewers. So when I
Yeah.
pushed it back a half hour, and then eventually pushed his show back. I'm like, damn it, Melton, you're siphoning off my small pool here, and I get it. You got you you got it more down to a formula and everything, and darn it.
Yeah, and he's so sporadic with his shows too. Like one day he'll just be like, "Oh, we're gonna be late today," so you never really know. Just gotta wait
That
for
is
the
one thing.
notification, I guess.
That is one thing I've been good with because just getting people in the habit of watching.
Mhm.
I've been in the Hack Ride and Electra's Catch 22 chat room regularly, and I'm not used to their Tuesday shows. It starts while I'm still at work, but I can catch it after a little bit. But yeah, just completely missed it last night because I'm not in the groove. I'm used to Thursday night Hack Ride night. Well, Thursday night has been just me on the internet. Who are these socials led right into Electra and Hack Ride for the entire night. And Hack
Mm.
Ride does do a marathon with those puzzle boxes. Usually I have to tap out at some point, and I'm with a lot of people. He gets to the sports segments. I am I'm a little girly man, and I'm not much into the sports segments. So that's often what'll chase me off with other Hack Ride viewers.
Understandable.
Are you much of a super chatter? I used to every show that I watched. I need to get back in this groove. Actually, I would super chat $5 because it's like, all right, instead of going out and spending like 10, $20 and being social, I'm being a form of social here, having fun with you here. Have $5, have a tip. I need to get back into that habit now that I have income again. Are you much of a super chatter or just a chatter?
Once in a while. I used to do it a lot more, but not so much lately. I mean, if I like a show and they have that option, I'll throw them some money just to say I enjoy your content.
Yeah, I need to get back in that habit of just here's a $5 tip. Thanks for
Mhm.
keeping me entertained and not completely 100% isolated. And as you said of not being a social person, like I have pushed myself to be social, especially when I started streaming last summer. Of like, all right, we have dedicated going out time. We are going out to the brewery. We are going out to the pinball bar, at least attempting to be social. And the pinball
Yeah.
bar, usually I'm not being social because pinball, autist. I'm going to be busy, but yeah, definitely putting aside that dedicated time to attempt not to be a complete homebody.
Yeah, and with super tips, I kinda have a problem with YouTube taking 30% of that. Like, I want the whole thing to go to the content creator, not a cut to YouTube. I mean, I get it, that they're using their platform, but 30% is quite a bit, you know?
I think I've heard that Rumble's numbers are better, and once again, just through habit, we're all going to YouTube, even though that
Yeah.
some do have the multi-stream. And I haven't been multi-streaming to Rumble just because Streamyard doesn't play nice with Rumble at this point. I would have to open that up separately. Would be a huge pain in the ass, but I'm still got my training wheels as a streamer on here. So if it's not going through StreamYard, I'm not doing it at this point yet.
Yeah, Rumble's trying. They're trying, but it's not great. It's not that great.
And the looks like you don't need to buy viewers over there, like some
No,
people
they
are
do it
accused of
automatically.
doing. Yeah, they inflate your viewers of the what the word is, the rumor is like if you scroll past a video and it plays a couple of segments, they're going to count that as a view because it actually works for both the creator and Rumble. Being that Rumble isn't hugely popular, it makes Rumble look more popular. It makes your show look more popular. Come on, folks, we're the place to be. And yeah, hopefully one day, because YouTube, it feels like they've gone too far. They've gotten all the news outlets, they've gotten sports, and now they've got to bend the knee. And like things with major vulgarity, just uh, all you need to do is say this isn't for kids, and you could still get monetized. But if you have a
Mhm.
certain amount of vulgarity, just absolutely no positively, no money for you on this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
You're gonna play
They're
by their rules, I guess.
you kinda
Dad
have
doesn't
to, you know?
Dad doesn't want us cursing within the first 5 minutes, and that's one of the first things I did with my co-host audition intros. After having Ryback curse me out and say he doesn't need a fucking co-host, I drop in a little bleep there, so he doesn't need a co-host. So it's okay, YouTube. The fuck isn't in the first minute. And there's been a few episodes where I chastise myself for dropping a fuck bomb or the C bomb. One C bomb now done. And are you a fan of any British podcasts or UK podcasts?
Uh, not really. I don't think so, anyway.
That's a term of endearment for them. Oh yeah, fucking coo.
Oh, yeah, they love it. It's like, calling you, like, your buddy, you know?
Yeah, an absolute attack on their language. The fact that yeah, they can't say it anymore. Like it's OSW Review are a few wrestling nerds, and they use that term all the time. So
Mhm.
their monetization just looked like a graveyard after YouTube decided, nope, no at all.
Damn the man.
Damn the U.S. man.
I
You
know.
need to. They're UK. Their language works different.
Yeah.
I do remember the very first super chat I made was actually to the Shuli network. And did you get into Shuli at all?
A little bit. You're talking like Uncle Rico, that
Yeah,
show? You
Uncle
know, that kind
Rico,
of stuff?
BS. BS for about 3 months, I was a regular listener, and, yeah, I was a Shuley fan for, like, 8, 9 months. I knew about him for 15 years, was a fan of him for about 8, 9 months, and then um, and,
Yeah,
I lived with a lot of people. Pottstown, his reaction to Pottstown, where he couldn't just be like, "Guys, we fucked up." Y
yeah,
Trying to
I mean,
be the big
he's
guy.
always been very kind to me, but I can see how people kinda were like, "Ugh, this guy is, no more." Yeah, so I got into Uncle Rico, when it first started. I came from, like, the Opie and Anthony side and Compound Media, and I remember the exact episode where it was Shuley and Bob Levy, and I think Kevin Brennan was there, Jim Norton. They were all on Anthony Cumia's show, and it was one of the funniest fucking episodes of the whole year, and I was like, "I gotta check out this, Uncle Rico show," and I liked it for about 4 months, and then I just got very tired of it. It just like, how many times can you do something with Stuttering John? "Oh, look what Stuttering John's doing." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck what he's doing, like, why am I watching this?" But, I mean, to each their own. If obviously people are still watching it, but it's just I just
Yeah,
got very bored with it.
it still has its audience, and
Mhm.
goofing on Stuttering John for years on end bought Carl a second property in Florida, so it but
Yeah,
I
like, good for them, good for them for making money off of it, but
yeah, I
it's
do
not
have
my
to
thing.
say this year has become the turning point where that was really some of the most fun part of my day of listening to Carl and Shuley come and goof on Stuttering John. Like, yeah, for me, this year I did have to tap out a bit. I won't when Carl does his segment on who are these podcasts. I won't listen to the John every single time. Sometimes I will, but not every single time.
Yeah, me
The
either.
point dabble point I felt came out too late. Like another show goofing on Stuttering John, like when I'm right at the tip of having enough, just push me over the edge to like I've had enough of
But
this
who's
John
who's
stuff.
still watching it? Everybody I talk to says the same thing, like, "Oh, I'm tired of him. I don't wanna watch it anymore," but they're continuously getting 1.2K viewers every single episode, allegedly. So, you know, when's it gonna end?
I'm
Are
happy that
people
we do
just gonna
have
get bored with it?
Joe Matarese coming into Carl's WATP. I forgot about that guy, and
Oh my god,
he's
me too. Have you ever seen that episode where he had, like, I think it was at, like, the Comedy Cellar or something, and he had, Fixing Joe, and he
yes,
invited, like, Anthony Cumia. It was the funniest fucking thing.
I
All
haven't
they did
watched
was fucking clown on the guy the whole time, and he was so mad.
I haven't watched the actual show. I saw, I believe it was Porcelain. I get Porcelain and
Mhm,
Beige Frequency confused. They make similar styles of documentary in the same universe.
mhm,
I believe it was Porcelain's documentary. He's done like 3 on Joe Matarese. He can't
mhm,
quit
and
Joe
Mersh too.
Matarese, and
Yep, him and Mersh, he loves them.
Fixing Joe. Oh yeah, it's just so funny because Joe Matarese just doesn't have the quick wit that you would expect out of a stand-up comedian, that you would expect out of the husband of a rich wife. That's the wit he has of someone doing this as a hobbyist, even after all these years. And oh yeah, that was like that would have been a great pilot if it was the Jim, Artie, and Anthony show, but as a pilot
Oh, I
for
forgot
Joe
Artie was there too.
Matarese. Yeah, those 3, with their dynamic of just relentlessly fucking with Joe, that would have been a great pilot for those 3, but as a pilot for Joe Matarese, it was a fucking disaster.
Mhm. He shoulda just leaned into it and just laughed. Just lean into it, Joe. They're picking on you, man.
But he had a format in his mind, and he was trying to guide it back to that format of, "This is a pilot. I've got a 3, 5 camera shoot here that I paid these people a bunch of money. This is the show. Come on, guys, I'm gonna show them what a and yeah, him battling that. And maybe he could have pivoted and gotten it picked up of like, here's 3 I bring in funny people to absolutely shit on me. That's the format. Maybe that would have got picked up by Pluto TV or something.
It just became a roast of Joe Matarese pretty much.
So you came from the Opie and Anthony world. I came
Mhm,
from the Stern world, and
mhm.
a lot of people in this hackverse are refugees from Stern and Opie and Anthony. I was
Yep.
very much anti Opie and Anthony because that's the Kool Aid that our Captain Howard was serving to us, and I was drinking. And thank goodness that the YouTube clips of Opie and Anthony still exist. But it is Patrice O'Neill sitting in on Opie and Anthony when Jim was out filming in Hollywood. I
Mhm,
love those together, but Patrice and Jim together. But
mhm.
the Patrice sitting in studios, oh, just so great.
There's a guy, I think he's in the NLO Discord that has a channel, that just he restreams Opie and Anthony, old episodes. I think it's called, like, The Honeycomb Hideaway or something. He's
Okay, I
serial
haven't
killer
found him yet.
in the chats and stuff, so, yeah, check him out. He restreams those. If I'm
Honeycomb
bored, I'll
Hideaway.
just turn it on.
Yeah, I've stumbled across a few uploaders of Opie and Anthony old episodes, but Honeycomb Hideaway is new to me. I will have to give him a listen. And yeah, I've become a huge fan of Opie and Anthony all after they broke up. Jim Norton,
Mhm.
perfect position. I love him as a stand-up comedian, but
I do
him as a
too.
third mic, like that was him at
It
his
was the best.
absolute best.
Mhm.
He has never had a better position. Him as the first mic on Jim and Sam, or maybe co-first mics, not so much.
I don't listen to Jim and Sam. I don't like Sam. He's I don't know, just something about him I really don't like, and it's just not the same. Like, Jim and Sam is not the same as Opie and Anthony, obviously, but
Sam
I can't do it.
Sam is kind of Weasley, and
Mhm.
that Weasley producer stopping in for a segment or few worked for me. But yeah, that Weasley first mic, yeah, that doesn't quite work for me. Doesn't
Mhm.
work for me, brother.
Agreed.
And he was uh, the main mind behind the Jocktober. He did all that work of sifting through all those shows.
Mhm.
The year where he brought in The Fugitive day after day after day and got Opie and Anthony so angry with him that they're playing the clips. All right, it's October. We got another episode. And it's the sixth day in a row where after a couple of minutes, it's The Fugitive. No, F you, Sam.
Ah, good times.
Oh, and Bobo. Howard Stern had a weird guy named Bobo, but he is the lesser of two Bobos. Talking about The Fugitive, that reminds me of Bobo doing that was one of Bobo's best
And
bits.
then he
Uh,
cut
uh,
into
uh,
with regular voice. He's like, "Well, I'm at my, apartment." "Oh, I mean, I'm at my apartment." It was so funny.
yeah.
Oh
Oh, it was
god
just
bless
that
him.
Mr. Maloonigan's. I mean that I.
I love Bo.
And he showed up on the compound and Chip Chipperson a few times. I'm not sure if he's
Mhm,
still doing that, but like when I saw that he was showing up on Jim and Anthony's spin-off shows, if you will, I was like, oh, good, he's still here. Oh, intern David.
mhm,
Intern David, his mother told him to stay away from those boys.
mhm.
There is reports of some of the old producers seeing him on the street. Oh, David, intern David, and he'll just run away. So his mother
No.
told that nice boy, intern David, you stay away from those boys.
Aw.
So no more
Excuse me,
intern
my nose
David.
is running.
All good. Yeah, I learned very quickly to have some of these off to the side. Uh, Actually, the last time I did a Kevin Brennan
Allergies.
co-host audition, I think he did like a hand wipe or something to where, yeah, I remember it specifically. I brought these up, Brennan, and of course our buddy Stuttering John still hasn't learned.
Oh, disgusting. Yeah, Brennan has a little hanky. He wipes his mouth when he gets all yelly.
Hankies don't sell tickets. Oh, but still in the Opie and Anthony world, do you recall the Joe DeRosa and Bill Burr shows that would pop up on XM?
I don't think so.
They're on YouTube. Like, I wish XM would have been more consistent. Like the Black Phillip show with Patrice O'Neill would be one of the irregular shows that would pop up on XM. And
Mhm.
Joe DeRosa and Bill Burr, they're buddies, but just complete opposite, and they absolutely annoy the fuck out of each other. I wish we had more DeRosa and Bill Burr shows. I highly recommend searching those out on YouTube. I don't know what other spin-off shows that XM allowed them to have. Those are the two that I specifically remember, and wishing that like Bill Burr is still actually I haven't heard him in a while. I don't think I've ever listened to Bill Burr's whole podcast, but
Either.
the compilations. I enjoy Patrice O'Neill talking about relationships, and Bill Burr has a different outlook, but there's a compilation, several compilations on YouTube of people treating him as like a Dear Annie, or who was it? Dear Abby. Of I got these I don't know why these people are sending their relationship problems into me. I'm not an expert, but all right, I'll give my opinions.
Yeah, he's alright. I don't really like Joe DeRosa that much, and this is very, I don't know, kinda shallow of me, but it's his laugh. It's this stupid fucking laugh. I can't stand it. That high pitched, like, scream. I have to immediately turn the shit off. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't."
I hadn't heard from Joe DeRosa in a long time, and he popped up in Better Call Saul as a side
Yeah.
character.
Mhm.
Like he got a little bit of a clap from me. Oh, fucking DeRosa is still around.
I
Good
know.
for
I was like, "Is
him.
that?" I was like, "Oh, that's Joe DeRosa. No shit."
Yeah, I had to check the credits. It's a good casting. Actually, Bill Burr as well. Breaking Bad, he was supposed to be on Saul, but his career blew up too much to reprise
Mm.
his role. So, yeah, that's funny that they both made it into the Saul Breaking Bad universe, but didn't get to cross paths as they did on XM.
Yeah. Joe DeRosa, I went to Skankfest over, last year, and Joe DeRosa was there, and there was this, can we say tranny? Are we allowed to say that here? I don't want to get
Sure,
you. Alright, tranny.
Granny.
There was a tranny there,
Uh,
and I guess he's into that
yeah,
stuff.
I actually, yeah, did find out that they don't like that anymore. I don't I don't know. It just seems like any term that's archaic, like like the artard or tranny that we used to just use as yeah. Apparently, they don't like that. But oh yeah, Joe with a trans lady, he definitely was talking about his interest in them on the Opie and Anthony years. So he had a trans lady at Skankfest.
There was one, I guess I heard, like, Lewis hired her to show up. I remember seeing her, and I was like, "Wow, that's a really tall lady," and I'm tall too, and she was, like, taller than me. But yeah, man, some of them you can't even tell nowadays. I feel bad for you guys. You're getting tricked out there. You're getting catfished. You gotta do a check, before you really get into anything.
That was a
But
spinoff
anyway,
of Bang Bus, Tranny Trick.
yeah, I guess they hired her to come in, and her and Joe did some things backstage. I don't know. I didn't see it per se, but I heard some things. But
I heard things.
hey, whatever.
By the way, your camera made it 20 minutes this time before
Oh my
freezing on
god.
you. But your eyes aren't closed this time, so it doesn't look like you're completely bored. So 10 minutes the first time, 20 minutes the second time. It was a little nicer to you the second time around.
All right. I'll come back in. Sorry again.
All good. Your audio is still working out well, and some people just do the still frame. So you're actually looking very similar to other people in this hack verse.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, I'll check in with the chat again. Uh, I don't check in anymore during the interview because it's really fucking distracting. Citizen M, KB, the chatter, better than KB Kevin Brennan. And thanks for stopping in again, Scott Fitzpatrick. Uninformed was the show with DeRosa and Bill Burr. So uninformed is what you would look for to find that out. Secret Snake is also a fan of Honeycomb Hideout.
Oh yeah.
There was a rumor that Pluto TV was looking at the Dabbleverse. I mean, we've got about the same amount of viewers for Pluto TV and the Dabbleverse of, I think it's between 5 and 10,000 people here in this Dabble hackverse.
Dabble, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Dabbleverse has imploded into the hackverse now.
Yeah. I thought it was two different things, but I guess they're one and the same.
It's yeah, a lot of overlap. Like that's what it appears to be, that that the Dabbleverse has imploded, and the larger, like it's a larger circle of the hackverse, with the Dabbleverse being a smaller circle. But yeah, judging by views, I think there's about 5-10,000 of us. I do think we need some coverage. Like there's this guy, what's his name? Based Shaman, who does like 10-20 minutes on Chris Chan sagas. If there was somebody to do like a 10-20 minute episode on the Beloved Chatter's Beloved One saga, might be able to reel in a few more dozen, 100, or 1,000 people into this small online community we have.
What do you think is like the end game here? Do you think it'll just stop? Like the Dabbleverse will just stop, or it'll just keep going and going and going forever?
Well, we do have, I don't know if you're over in Spurgtopia, there is a watch on The Turn, where The Turn is just
The Turn.
inevitable. Yeah, the Turn on NLO, the Turn on Milton is being covered. There's some people who are still fans. There's some people who have fully turned, talking about the turn against WATP. I mentioned, I think I'm mid-turn on WATP, and a small breeze could really take me from back to full-on fan to full turn against Carl at this point. But yeah, I'm still a fan of Carl. I'm still subscribed to his Patreon and watch the videos live. Bought a ticket to the Tampa WATP live. I was thinking Tampa or Vegas, and I went with the Vegas. It's a this or that with me. And
Are you going to Vegas? The Hackamania thing?
No, I'm skipping over the Hackamania and going with the Tampa. Yeah, it was a this or that for me. I do need to make it out to Los Angeles and Las Vegas, but my job, I do get paid time off, so I just need to keep accumulating those hours so I can get paid for most of a week out to Los Angeles and Las Vegas.
Yeah, I got tickets to the Vegas show, so I'll be out there for a few days. I more go to like meet like other fans of the show. I don't really care about the podcasters, like live podcasts. I'm like,
Actually, that's a big reason why I definitely wanted to go to another one of these live shows, was the camaraderie at DabbleCon. I went to that, and
oh, you were there too? I was there.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't a chatter at that point, but seeing everyone who was already familiar with each other, with that were meeting each other for the first time, but were very friendly, had these existing relationships. It was like, oh, this is cool. I need to watch live. I need to be a beloved chatter with all these beloved chatters. So yeah, it was after DabbleCon that I started chatting live, and made a Discord for myself, and got into the Discord chats as well. And also a few months after that I was like, all right, we need to be social in real life. We need to make time for internet social and real life social.
There's a lot of people on the spectrum in this little community. Me included, I think.
Yeah, I ask, if I am not autistic, then who the hell is? Because while you're out in Las Vegas, you can check out the Pinball Museum. And what doesn't scream autist like a pinball museum? They moved locations since I've last been there. They upgraded. They're on the Strip now. So If
I
you're
had
that
no
type
idea
of
that
autist,
even existed.
yeah, if you're that type
Now
of
I do.
autist, um, the Pinball Museum, no longer down Tropicana a few miles off the strip. It is on the strip, and I have not been there yet to check out their new, bigger, better location. And they have
Mm.
actually a 3D pinball machine where you're moving the ball vertically upward as well. So, I would spend one day gambling. Roulette turned out to be my favorite. I have a betting pattern, strategy. Um, you know, it's luck, but a betting pattern of 1 in 6 with roulette, where I would do that for a day, but pinball multiple days of pinballery.
Hey, aren't you meeting up with some girl tomorrow?
I need to check in with that. Yes, pulling the DJ Electrify strategy of crossing state lines and meeting up with a lady, a weirdo looking for a weirdo, 90 minutes away from me. So when it's a fellow weirdo, uh, all right, let's give this a try, and it's a fun city that she's in, so I can entertain myself for quite a few hours. So I do need to confirm that. If she's like, no, I can't do it. To be honest,
Where'd
I
you meet
won't be
her? Like some
swipey
autistic
app.
like dating site or something?
Yeah, swipey app. That's another reason of like I've never really met anyone significant off those swipey apps. Some hookups, but any significant relationships I've met in real life. So forcing myself to go out and be social, getting a job. Actually, the lady at work that is I find really attractive. Patrice O'Neill would describe her as delicious. Anthony Cumia would not be a fan. To give you a
Why is
little
she over 20 years old?
um, different reason of why Patrice O'Neill would find her delicious, and Anthony Cumia's racist dick would not find her
Oh, okay.
attractive.
I
But
understand now.
actually, for the age thing, she is under my minimum age range. And when we started talking and we really hit it off, I'm like, God damn it, we're not supposed to get along this well. You are too young for me. And one of those people that kind of like wise beyond their years, like the way I'm talking to her, she does sound like mid late 20s rather than just getting to 20. And it's like, God damn it, you, like mentally you are meeting my like I'm 37 now, and I say 27. I don't want to go below that. You're getting, mentally a bit too different from each other.
Yeah. What do you talk about, you know?
Yeah,
Give me
20.
older all day long. I'll take a silver fox daddy all day long.
Yeah, 55. There was a 55-year-old who just flipped herself out too much. I think because of the age difference and canceled our dates. And to me, I'm not attracted to like old ladies. And 55, it's from person to person. If I find you attractive, like there was one I went out with in her photos, she didn't look too old, but in person, it's like, no, I'm sorry, you're on the wrong side of mid 50s, the way that you're put together. That one woman, she was that was 55, 56. She was into me, but just very doom and gloom. Taking the conversation to a doom and gloom place so often, to where it's like, nah, this is this conversation, no matter how much fun it is, you just steer it into some place that is not fun.
You should have dusted the cobwebs off that box and give it a chance. You might have had the best sex you've ever had. You never know.
I'm up for a 55-year-old, but Miss Doom and Gloom, no, too much doom and gloom. I couldn't give her the false promise of young Wang, of some age gap Wang, with the way that she just all the interactions that she took to a very dark, depressing place for very unnecessarily.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's just too much. So you're on
N-
these dating apps. Is there such thing as like an autistic dating app? If not, there should be. Like just for
should be
autistic
there.
people.
There is a new one in looking for host for the co-host audition, someone covered this new one. I forget what it's called, where you draw a picture to introduce to each other, and that seems a little bit on the spectrum. But every dating app leaned into the swipey aspect, and for me, that's great for hookups. But OkCupid had their own type of gimmick where you answer questions, and we've got these essays, and we've got this percentage of how much that you match with each other. But they also leaned into the swipey. So these ones that are supposed to be relationship apps, the swipey on the picture is too much of a hookup app, and that's what everyone has gone towards.
Yeah, I'm not into that stuff. I've never even been on one of those apps. But with the, could you imagine like the profile for like those autistic ones, like interests, like trains, airplanes, like dislikes, eye contact.
That should be the
Oh
name
my
of the
god.
autist swipey, the autist dating
Trains.
app, Trains and Pinball.
We got something going here. Let's get it done.
All right, we just need some capital to get our Trains and
Somebody
Pinball
fund
dating
this.
app going, because that's where I set my dates at, is at the pinball bar or the complex where the pinball bar is at. There's a
Mhm.
lot of flakes here and somewhere. Like per capita, there's more
Mm,
car wrecks in somewhere than there were in Los Angeles. More flakes, period. Not even
that's
per
so
capita.
rude.
The
That's so
the
rude.
amount of flakes I've had on dates out here, not even per capita, more flakes than Los Angeles, which is a flaky town. So,
Mhm.
bad ladies from somewhere. You give love a bad name. I'm gonna have to send you to Bon Jovi.
Well, I'm rooting for you, Dylan, tomorrow. I hope you bust.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have to confirm that because she was feeling a little down last time I talked to her. Was kind of unsure of it. So if I don't have to drive 3 hours round trip, I'm looking at the positive of it, that I don't have to drive 3 hours round trip. But if I do, it's a weirdo, and I called it a double date since I'm driving so far. She's got a similar midday schedule where she goes in at like 11:30 and gets out at 8. So it's like, how about a double date? Meet you for a coffee. I entertain myself in this city that has a bunch of going on. Then a dinner date afterwards. So a double date of sorts, potentially tomorrow with a weirdo looking for a weirdo.
There you go.
And that's what we're hoping for. And I do have to let you go soon. I will
Mm.
go to the chat as we go out. If anyone had a chat earlier that I didn't get to, because as I mentioned, it's a pain in the ass to do an interview and be attentive to my guest and to read the chat. So I stopped
I
doing that
understand.
so much. I did that for the first few episodes, and yeah, it just doesn't work out. I can do it very well for the TikTok show and for the co-host audition show, but in the interview show, it just doesn't work for me trying to monitor the chat and conduct an interview at the same time.
Yeah, multitasking. That's
Isaac
rough.
Walmart, ask KB if Ray confided in her about the bodies.
I can't talk about that legally.
That
Sorry.
is neither a confirm nor deny on that, if the bodies have been discussed. So Ray and the bodies gonna remain a big old question mark for now. Deitois, Carl can be grating. I waver. Pun intended, waiver. Fuck yeah. Let me just give you a little rim shot there. That's a good one. DJ Electrify rule. For every state you go, it's 1 point up. So if he's a 6 state, but he's a 4 states away, it's a 10. Thank you for that hack ride, that equate. And hack ride really does want to see me IRL stream my romantic outings. He believes that it would be a good investment. So
You should.
19.99 a month for IRL dating with Dylan. Personally, Raymance. I would like to bring Ray DeVito in on this IRL dating in real life, because I certainly would pay $19.99 a month. Gotta get out to a broader audience of these awkward folks doing dating in real life, because yeah, I love that stuff. Dating on the spectrum, age gap dating. I love those shows so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Sam V. It is a clip-on. I do not know how to tie a clip-on tie. I was struggling with getting the clip-on on earlier, and my neck does disappear. My short little neck disappears when I put on a tie. A request from my guest, KB.
Hi, Sam.
And thanks for showing up, Sam. You run a fun. You are the mayor of a fun little town over there at Spurgtopia. Dylan be dating nanas. I am down for. I prefer childless, but that's more of a Los Angeles thing, to be in your 40s and 50s and be childless than here and somewhere. There's crotch goblins all over the place. Dylan and Wawa, hold on. Let me get my dick out. Have you been following Wawa over Electra's show Catch 22 follows Wawa. She is a nut.
No, the only Wawa I know is the convenience stores in the East Coast.
Oh,
I've
I do
never
love
heard of
a
Wawa.
Wawa hoagie. The best
Oh, yeah.
gas station food in the mid-Atlantic and the North. You get down in the South, there is some good eating Southern cooking gas station food. But as far as the North and the mid-Atlantic, Wawa is the absolute place to go. Spurg
Yes.
out. Doom. Thank you, folks, for joining. Beloved chatter, Dylan is so smooth. He can handicap himself on dates with a camera. Take it easy on the guy. All right, beloved chatter, he's on my side. Hackride thinks it's going to be an awkward experience. Beloved chatter thinks that I am going to be just very smooth. And
I hope so.
I do have to let you go soon because you have to go to work. Do you have any steps to take, or are you right there at your workstation now?
Oh, this is actually my guest bedroom, but my office is right around the corner. So
one door
about
down.
5 steps. Yes.
To get to the workstation. And there's Electra giving in a little bit of a plug for her show. Stop by the show on Tuesdays, I believe. What is it? 10 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Did I get those right? Not 9 Eastern, 10. I said specific instead of Pacific. But yeah, I'm a big fan of what they're doing over there on the Hack Ride channel with Puzzle Box on Thursday. And I'm getting used to the new schedule. Electra used to be on Thursdays as well. She is now on Tuesday evenings. And yeah, big plug over to those fellow weirdos. And is there anything that you would like to plug before we get out of here?
No, not really. I got nothing.
So let's just plug our buddy. What was it? Honeycomb Hive?
Honeycomb Hideaway.
Honeycomb Hideaway. Let's give a plug to Honeycomb Hideaway while we're here. And a quick plug, I've got a Discord. Daylaw started it up for me. He's big into the Discord, and I'm less of a boomer on the Discord than I was before. What is this game with Annie? I am the co-host. Getting through the Arkham Knight is taking fucking forever, but we will be back at some point completing the game. I'm at 101% completion, and I still have not had the final showdown, so their completion rate is a little odd there. So thank you all for joining. You can find me and KB in the chat rooms on Who Are These Socials. I'm not in the chat rooms at NLO. I haven't been watching them live, but KB will be there. You can trade back and forth some quips, some one-liners, and some insights over there with her. And thank you all so much for joining. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LSMFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LSMFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.
It's still ending. It's thinking about ending. There's something up with StreamYard because it's still thinking about ending. Having trouble connecting? I'm going to try to end it again. StreamYard won't let me end the stream, and my guest has gone. Well, I'll keep trying to end the stream over and over again. I saw over on the Electra show last night that StreamYard was having some issues as well. A little bonus segment. Indeed. It's going to think about ending over and over again. One of these times, it might actually end the stream. And unfortunately, Turb McGurk's question, I saw a little too late about the potential romance between KB and Flat Cat. Didn't get to that in time. And it's still refusing to end the stream.